Hi Scorpio, welcome to your season. A very happy birthday to Scorpio Sun. And to all of you, what a beautiful start of a season, Scorpio. And the beautiful energy of this month will be embedded in the next 1 year of your life. It is a beautiful month to have your season in because we have a lot of supportive aspects in the month of November to make our dreams come true, to convert opportunities into reality. Yes, as is traditional in your season, we will be required to go deeper, we will be required to focus, we will be required to go single mindedly towards an opportunity. But the aspects available this month give you the focus, they give you the staying ability, but at the same time they give you the requisite inspiration to go beyond the current reality and create something that you have dreamed of all of this year. Because Saturn and Neptune have been meeting each other throughout this year, but this is their last stage, which is called the birthing stage, when the thing that you have been dreaming about, the thing that you have been aspiring towards, which is beyond reality, that is finally come to fruition. We will be given the discipline to follow through. We will be given the staying power, practical power to make our dreams come true. And this is all happening while we have a lot of focus in your sign. Not only we have sun in your sign, and when sun comes back, it takes a round and it comes back in our sign, we get a physical reset. There is a physical reset of our body, there's a physical reset of our health, there is a physical reset of our ambition, our goals. But more importantly, a lot of focus comes on you, your goals, your personality that you bring to the table, your ambition, your leadership style. So a lot of spotlight is on you and your self-expression, but at the same time, Mercury, the planet that rules business communication, the planet that rules our thinking, our mind, is in your sign for 9 weeks this year, as compared to normal 3 weeks that every sign gets. Mercury has gone retrograde in your sign and it will stay in your sign till 9th of December. From 31st of October till about 20th of November, Mercury will be retrograde in your sign. And this happens very, very rarely. Our sign is sort of subjected to or goes through this rethinking, this overhaul once in 5 or 6 years. And this refurbish our resources in terms of our thinking ability about our life. It sort of resets how we present ourselves to the world. It resets our messaging. It sort of resets what we want the world to know about us. What kind of an outer image you want to have. What is your messaging? Who am I as a person, as a leader, as a personality that shows up to the world? So over the course of last couple of weeks, you might have seen that we are given a new voice. We are given a new voice when Mercury comes in our sign. So Mercury has been in our sign since about third, and I keep saying our sign because I'm a Scorpio rising as well. Mercury has been in our sign since 3rd of October. When that happens, we are given a chance to make a different kind of personal impact than we had before. So from 3rd of October to 31st of October, the way you have been interacting, the kind of projects you have been involved in, the kind of career opportunities you've been talking about, the kind of strategy that you're looking to have for your future, that will undergo a shift and change in the coming days all the way till 20th of November. Mercury retrograde in our sign helps us refine our outer projection, helps us change our mind about our own priorities, who we want to become. The personality shifts that come with it, they are in line with who we want to become in future, and it helps us get rid of or remove or see clearly some part of us that we don't want to be part of our future. Sometimes when that happens, past does come up. Past does come in front of us for us to see how far we have grown from our past. It just purely comes for educational reason, not for us to suck back in it. And this is the time when we sort of decide, okay, that was my past, that is who I was when maybe in 2013, when Mercury went retrograde in your sign around October. I spoke about it in detail in the video I did towards the end of October on Halloween, essentially. So, I mean, Mercury retrograde in 2013 might have given you some clues about who you want to become. And we carry forward the lessons of the last Mercury retrograde in this season as well. So, looking back at that time or just looking forward, who do you want to become? The first 10 days of Mercury retrograde, all the way till 11th of November, will be sort of introspective. So, if you find yourself taking it a little bit low in terms of not being so vocal, not being so out and about, because that is the time when a lot of introspection is happening. When we are sort of not forcing action, but maybe reworking a few things, maybe reworking our messaging, maybe reworking our goals, maybe reworking an actual project, an actual work project at this point in time. We're sort of reworking who we want to project ourselves as to the outer world. And at the same time, because Mercury rules your 8th and 11th house, this has financial impact. The kind of messaging that you want to put forth, it could be an actual work that you've been doing, an actual work project, an actual financial project that you've been working on, that you want to publish at a larger scale to people. You might be reworking that, and it has financial impact in my view, because Mercury rules your 8th and 11th house. These are financial houses. These are the houses by which we gain from others, where we are paid to influence others, where we are paid to make an impact. So you might be sort of refining a pitch, refining a book, refining a written matter, refining a sort of what do you want your title to be in your job, in your career, or what kind of career you want to be in. So looking back at your commercial aspect is definitely a part of this Mercury retrograde. But when we have so much focus on us, which is Sun is in your sign, there's a lot of focus on beyond the material reality, beyond the physical reality. There's a lot of focus there as well, which means that you will be looking at what emotionally makes you happy as well. Because when Mercury goes retrograde in a water sign, we are asked to switch off the left brain a little bit and look at what we don't normally see. Do we not normally see some part of us that we would want to be part of our daily life? Is there an aspect of you? Is there a way of functioning, a thought process, a way of thinking? This is non-linear thinking. When Mercury is retrograde, we are asked to think different from how we have thought before. So is there a part of you that you normally hide from other people, which is a passionate side, which is an emotional side, which is another part of you, which is very much an integrated part of you? But maybe you want that to come out of shadow. Maybe you like other people, your friends or your audience to see that. Is there a hidden part of you, a shadow side of you, that you'll want people in your life that you like to own, that you don't want to be ashamed of in future? So Mercury lets you go where you would normally not go, in the recesses of your mind, which are inaccessible in normal day-to-day hyperactivity. That's why one of the things during Mercury retrograde that we're required to do is slow down a little bit, and doing that in your own season is very difficult. But not taking a pause, not thinking before we are doing things, will cause errors in this season, as is the hallmark of Mercury retrograde. The emails are not written the way they need to be if they're not looked at it twice. The discussion, something comes out or blurts out if we are not a little bit careful about it. In personal situation, things are said which maybe we needed to think before we said. So it's a little bit of two-way situations where we do want to get things straight, where we do want some of the things to come out, but maybe right now we are deciding what is our strategy to come out. What is the unresolved issue that is blocking us from speaking up? Why is our voice not heard? Or why am I not speaking up in a particular way? Why am I not owning my place? Why am I not speaking my truth? So this whole cycle is supposed to restore and make us whole in who we are, restore our confidence in who we are, so we can express ourselves to everybody the way we want it to be. So, in water sign, in our sign, this Mercury retrograde will go deeper than it has before. There will be our shadow side or unresolved side or the side of us that we did not see before, which we will see now. But the beauty of Scorpio as a sign is that it jives well with stability, but it also jives in well with depth. So you can dig deep and face some of the truths about yourself with objectivity during this time. Which means that if we are in a situation where, say, we are in a power struggle with somebody, and around 5th of November, that situation can come up. So, noting that date on 5th of November, is there something that shows up, that shows a hidden side of you that you did not see before? Maybe there is a insecurity somewhere sitting within us to perform a task, which is coming out in being defensive with somebody. I'm just giving an example which I faced myself, which I was shocked suddenly that I never thought myself to be underconfident about something. I'm not generally that way. I feel when I'm doing things, I'm normally sure about them. But I figured out that I was being defensive because I did not think maybe I'm not up to the task. So I was being defensive in a situation. So sometimes there is an inherent inside issue or limitations that we have, which we are hiding from ourselves, and they will get projected in form of somebody else. And the beauty of our sign is that during this season, we will be able to access it and see it, reflect upon it, and correct it. And that's why Mercury retrograde in your own sign, which happens not very often, is an extremely important growth period. The way you react, the way your emotional responses, the way you grow in your emotional and spiritual way during this time is unparalleled to any other time. So, past will come up, or even in present, it will show you who we are. And it might show you different from who you think you are. And there will be a question which will be provoked, which leads to self growth. And this emotional and spiritual growth comes up cloaked in day-to-day matter. It is not that a huge event has to happen for it. But it just in day-to-day matters, there are recesses of our mind, there are things within ourselves that dig in and they come up. And those are gold. Those are the jewels that we normally don't know. Because Scorpio, you have to realize as a sign, we are a complex sign. We are a sign which has layers within ourselves. There are things about us that we don't know. And those are unwrapped in these moments of retrograde in our sign. It's like a gift that is unwrapped, because every time a layer is lifted, it's like bursting a bubble and a new packet of energy is released with it. So the retrograde in our own sign unwraps hidden potential in our ability to understand things, in our ability to express ourselves more authentically. It changes the very impact we have on our external reality. So by changing this small thing within, it's like something simple has to click, right? Sometimes we just have to click sometimes. So with Mercury retrograde, sometimes something small clicks. and we unlock a new way of handling the situation. And this is very much a part of the new moon that happened on 27th or 28th of October in our sign. And we get one new moon every year. This was our new moon, and that happened at 4 degree of Scorpio. But the new moon impact will be delayed because with Mercury retrograde, the actual impact of a new moon is delayed. So our new start will come when Mars and Uranus are meeting each other at the degree of new moon on 24th of November. So this change, the shift that is happening in you, you will fully register that around 24th of November, because sometimes we see it when it's done. The new moon happened at 4 degree of Scorpio. In Sambian astrology, that degree is reflected as a woman who explores a cobwebby old house by the light of a candle and eventually discovers a secret room. There is an uncovering of a secret door that we are not aware of right now. There are certain cobwebs, certain abuse of the past, certain spiritual abuse of the past, certain political abuse of the past, certain bad alliances which need to be removed. There is a cleaning up which happens of the negative influences of the past, because there is a negative conditioning because of failures, because of people who have told us something, because of what happened in the past, that needs to be removed for us to see a door out of our current situation, and that unlocks a new start for us. There will be huge symbolism, because when Mercury goes retrograde in our sign, there's a lot of symbolism. There are a lot of images, signals, intuition that grows. Creatively, we can do our best work in these days. Creatively, we can create something that we have not ever before. Because when Mercury is retrograde in your sign, it's like flipping a coin. You did not see that part of your thinking process. You did not see that way of thinking. So, same problem that you faced earlier, you find an alternative solution for that. So, journaling, writing down your thought process, writing down your dreams, writing down the things that are coming to your mind when you see a symbol, when you see an image, because your intuition will be even stronger than normally. But the first 10 days of this month, they will disengage you from you. Disengage you from an old way of handling a situation to show you a new one. There is a unresolved issue that will come knocking on your door in form of a person, in form of a conflict, in form of a problem in the coming week, which will force you to some extent to tap into a different side of you. And this could happen very well around 5th of November. And although it is true in my view for our entire sign, but 5th of November, especially people who have planets around 20 or 21 degree of Scorpio, which is around 13th of November, their new mind will be given a test drive. So this is sort of, can I act differently in this situation? And most of this month is fabulous because so much positive influences there throughout this month. But 5th of November is a volatile day. That is a day when you want to be a little bit careful. I'm sorry, I went a little bit ahead of myself because I really wanted to dig into Mercury retrograde for our sign. Let me give you certain good days and challenging days for this year, for this month. So the good days of this month are 8th of November, then 13th of November, then around 24th of November, and 28th or 30th of November. So the Saturn-Neptune combination, which is like beautiful to make our dreams come true, that is meeting Sun on 8th of November. So certain positive actions with authority figures possibly in your career. 13th of November, certain positive news coming in, or you just being able to handle a situation in a written matter, in a spiritual matter, in a talking matter very well on 13th of November, but it may not have full information. So don't go ahead of yourself on 13th of November. We are still in retrograde period. When we are in retrograde period, don't sign things is my recommendation. Don't put things in stone yet. Wait till 20th of November to formalize something. Even if you feel excited about something, just put provisional clauses there. Stay a little bit flexible, because when Mercury is retrograde, there's more information coming in. So you want to wait for that, which can make it better, which can improve it. And then on 24th of November, it is one of the best days of this month, and I'm going to talk about it in detail in a minute. Venus and Jupiter are together in your house of finances. So 24th of November is a very, very good day for finances. Then 28th and 30th of November, Mercury is direct and then again meets Saturn and Neptune. So now we can sign things, we can formalize things, we have full information to act on it. So 28th and 30th of November are very good days. And then 13th of December, when Mars meets Saturn and Neptune, that is a very, very good day to act on it, or just for excitement, just starting your new life. 13th of December is an excellent day to do that. Challenging dates, 5th of November, when Mars and Pluto are squaring each other. We could have a fight with somebody. We could have a ego fight with somebody, a power struggle with somebody. Our actions can be taken very aggressively. So you want to be careful on 5th of November. 14th of November, I wouldn't say it's a challenging day, just that Venus and Neptune are making a square. So I would not make a financial investment, which anyways we should hold off till 20th. But just being a little bit careful on that day, or not saying yes very soon in Venus related matters, which is financial, love, or it's a very good creative day, but not deciding something on 14th of November. Then 21st of November, Mars and Chiron are together. It's just a thing we want to be careful of, that our actions could be driven by hurt versus logic. So 21st of November is a day I would be cautious on. 25th of November, Sun and Uranus are together. We might do something out of skin, just shock people a little bit on 25th of November, because Uranus is playing a part. And this is very much a part of our new moon in Sagittarius, which is happening on 26th or 27th, which starts a new financial cycle for us. But I'll talk about it in more detail as well as we go forward in the video. Then 27th of November, Venus and Chiron are together. This is a day when you want to be a little bit careful in your personal interactions, in your love interactions on that day. So these are the dates for this month. Now let's go further. Let's first talk about what happens when we have a season which is in our sign, and there's a lot of focus on a new moon that has just happened, which in my view will come to fruition around 24th of November. New moon always brings new starts. Our season always brings new start. So new start, as I mentioned, is an influence on others, on your sort of how do you interact with people. So financial relationships, sexual relationships, legal relationships, your contracts, you'll find a different way of how you want to make an impact on others. Your role, your life role. How do you feel about your life? How and what you want your life to be about. And you are a powerful sign. Scorpio is a sign that stands for power, that stands for ability to regenerate itself, ability to completely change our life. So our new moon and our season gives us a opportunity to completely change our modus operandi, to be a completely different person. And Mercury retrograde gives us a chance to rethink who we want to be. So when in the first 10 days, you might be rethinking your existing strategy, or you might be rethinking your existing work. You might be rethinking your existing written materials. You might be rethinking your appearance. How do you want to look? How do you want to dress? How do you want to dress for business? How do you want your body and health to be? Your sort of deep, dormant emotions, they could wake up in the first 10 days. And we can find creative, deep and spiritual outlet for it. Healthy and physical one. You might be looking at a total turnaround of your desires. Maybe your desires have not found a great outlet, and you could feel that when Mercury is going retrograde and it digs out that part of you, that maybe your desires are super strong, but they have not been met. So we may not be so tolerant because of that towards others. But we got to find a healthy outlet of that. Mercury retrograde allows us to find a way, allows us to establish a different kind of leadership position for us. If your desire is to become a leader in your domain and you currently feel you have not got that status, this is the time when we rethink and realign ourselves. This is a time when we heal, we spiritually heal, we attain a greater consciousness about who we want to become. And our intuition, our talk to ourselves, our connection to ourselves is very, very strong. So trust your intuition. Don't go on to trusting too much of logic when Mercury is retrograde. This is the time when you have to trust your right brain. You have to trust your alternative approach. You have to trust your alternative mind. So, apart from getting a new perspective, there's a different side of you're listening to. Then, after that, from 11th to 20th of November, when we have the inferior in conjunction, Sun and Mercury will meet each other on 11th of November. And that is one of the best conjunctions, and it's happening in your sign, that we have seen in a long time, and it will be very, very powerful. Why that conjunction is so powerful is that it will be visibly seen on Earth, and that happens very few times in a century. It will be visible from South of America, from East of America. People will actually be able to see that Mercury as a planet will be occulting the sun. It will feel like an eclipse on that day. So Mercury, our mind, is physically reborn with it. And a new seed is planted on 11th of November, a rebirth of who we want to be, how we want the world to see us, how we want us to be projected to our immediate environment. How do we want to connect with our immediate environment? That shifts and completely changes. Mercury rules your own house, the house of transformation. It rules wealth for you, but it also rules transformation and power. This is an empowering exercise. This is an exercise where we can be who we want to be, a different you. This is the time to write something completely new for you. And Mercury is covering almost all of our sign. So, I could say this degree is affected, that degree is affected, but every one of you will feel it. Because Mercury is a fast-moving planet. It covers degree all the way from 11 degree to 28 degree. That's people who are born in November. If you're a sun, Scorpio sun, 3rd of November to 20th of November in particular. But then the new moon that happened, which will truly have an impact on 24th of November, that happened at the early degree. That happened around 4 degree. That is around 26th or 27th of October born. So you're talking about people who are born in 26th, 27th of October or around 3rd of November to 20th of November. But yes, if you have planets around 11 degree of Scorpio, 28 degree of Scorpio, or 4 degree of Scorpio, this is particularly important for you from a rebirth perspective. Even 19 degree of Scorpio, because that's where the conjunction on 11th of November is happening. So from a Scorpio sun perspective, 3rd of November born, 20th of November born, 11th of November born, 26th or 27th of October born. These are trigger times. But as you'll see as I talk through the dates, all of you, one or the other aspect is touching you this year, this month. So on 11th of November, when Sun and Mercury meet each other at 19 degrees Scorpio, and that is the degree of of very, very positive degree. It's a degree which is known for creative excellence. It is known for fame. It is known for immortal fame. We have had people like Gandhi, people who are revered for their creative output, born on these degrees. Clint Eastwood, having his son over there. So this is when, if you want to truly want to manifest something, this is the time to lay down the seed of it on 11th of November. Maybe you want to put down the framework, the groundwork of what your new life wants to be. Maybe you want to recenter yourself spiritually. Maybe you want to sort of create which you thought you could not create before. Maybe you want to create something that you want to leave behind for yourself. So you'll find an opportunity to seed something on this day and lay down the groundwork for. In fact, the full moon that is happening on 12th or 13th of November is happening in that degree as well, of Taurus, of your opposite sign, in your house of partnerships. So maybe you want to find the right partnerships for it. Maybe you want to do it in combination with somebody. Maybe you want to take your partner along on that journey. So you will find yourself really, really triggered to do something different or present yourself very different from how you have before. Apart from this, so from 11th of November, we have this rebirth of Mercury. Then from 11th to 20th of November, you'll find the gestation period of that new idea, this new beginning. So this is the time we sort of lay down the groundwork, we do the work, we gather information, we test new territory, we explore how to do it, we allow new potential to develop. There's a lot of optimism during this time. But as I mentioned, even from 11th to 20th of November, Mercury is retrograde. So you want to be a little bit beware in terms of not going ahead and signing something. For example, on 13th of November, you'll feel like, I'm sure of this. I'm sure of this. I want to sign something. I want to bring something to completion, and you'll feel like doing it. And more importantly, you have a full moon on 12th of November in your opposite sign, which is one of the best full moons we have had this year. It's a full moon in your opposite sign of Taurus, which is very grounded, which is very sensual, which is very easy, very reliable, very wanting to be in partnership with somebody, wanting to be in a stable contract, wanting to do something with somebody for long run, wanting to close on a partnership, wanting to put a closure to an old phase of life and start a new life with somebody. So that is a full moon that is very much focused on your contracts, on your partner, on your committed contracts, long-term committed contracts, and they could have financial aspect to it. So it could be sort of, if you are in that stage with somebody, maybe that would be a good time to sort of look at marriage. Maybe it's a job contract, a very lucrative financial contract, a very long-term, stable, reliable, anchor of your life kind of a contract, or a partner, a business partner, a financial partner that is coming in your life. But one thing that you want to note about, this is happening around the same degree as Sun and Mercury conjunction of 11th of November, which is around 19 or 20 degree. So if you have planets around 19 or 20 degree of Scorpio, or if you're born around 12th of November, 2 or 3 degrees before, 2 or 3 degrees after, similarly 2 or 3 days before or after 12th or 13th of November, you will feel like settling down. You will feel like having a sort of, you will find a closure. You'll find a definite closure, and it will have colors similar to 2013. As I mentioned, a lot of these events have a color of 2013. So if there was a big life transformation that happened for you in 2013, you might see a next phase of that coming in. Next phase in the sense of maybe you got married at that time and you might see a next phase in that marriage. Maybe something new happening in that relationship. Or if you entered a contract at the time, you might see a new contract coming through of that time. A significant event, a life changing event, if any, which happened between 25th of February 2013 to 10th of May 2013, you'll find a next phase or closure in that this month. And it will extend till at least the last half of this month. This could be a new start that you had right now in 2013, and now is the time when you sort of move to the next step of it. But the thing to note on, and that's what I wanted to tell you, is that you have to realize that Uranus is in Taurus right now. Uranus is in your opposite sign right now. Uranus is sitting in your house of partnerships right now. What does that mean? That means that things have to be done differently. Things have to be done differently when it comes to your partnership. Things have to be done differently when it comes to your contracts, when it comes to your committed relationships, when it comes to your joint finances with somebody, when it comes to your financial contracts, when it comes to your marriage finances, when it comes to any of the opportunities that are coming your way. Because when Uranus comes in a sign opposite to us, we have to sort of shake up things. We have to do things in an unconventional way over there if we want to keep it for long run. And you would want to keep this contract, you want to keep this relationship, this partnership for long term. Because of that, it has to be a little bit unconventional, and you might have got a whiff of it around your new moon, 26th or 27th of October, when Sun made an opposition to Uranus, that something has got to be different this time. That maybe things in your contract, in your partnership, need to be a little bit changed, which might require an open exchange or honesty, which might require, if it is an existing relationship, maybe you need to re-talk, maybe you need to rethink things, maybe you need to shake things up. Uranus is a 7-year itch planet. It stays for 7 years in a specific sign. It will be in Taurus till 2020, which means that it slowly or steadily will change both the physical reality as well as your emotional behavior in partnerships and contracts. It every month when moon meets Uranus, it changes you slowly in terms of your emotional patterns in relationships and partnership. What you want out of your partner, what you want out of your commitments, what you want out of your job contracts, financial contracts, that is changing. And whether you realize it or not, but you have changed since Uranus entered your opposite sign on 15th of May 2018. So when what you want out of your contracts has changed, the way you want to use this full moon of 12th or 13th of November is to bring about a change in your contracts to align those contracts in line with who you're becoming. So Uranus will be staying till 2026. Doesn't mean that physical events will be happening for all of you till 2026. But the exact degree when it is triggered in your sun, in your rising, in your moon, or any of the planets you have in Scorpio or in Taurus, you will see a physical event. This month, Uranus is currently around 3 or 4 degree of Taurus. So people who are October born might experience an actual physical event in terms of change in their partnership, especially 26th or 27th of October born. Then again, if you have planets around 19 degree of Taurus, where this full moon is happening, of 12th of November, you might see a change in your financial contract, in your contract with your partner, in your relationship with your partner. You will find yourself wanting to move away from what is known, the security of it, the stability of it, which we thought we liked about a contract, to something more exciting. Because Sun and Uranus have sort of, they when they are making an opposition to each other, they basically say, okay, this is good, but a part of you has chipped away. Every year, annual opposition of Sun and Uranus will chip a part away of you in a contract. It's an awakening aspect. Awakening to what is dormant, what is unexplored, what is untried, which is sort of buried, and it sort of provokes from your side that I need to disassociate myself from my past in a way. So it's a critical moment, this opposition which happened on 28th of October, it's a critical moment when a coin flips and you undermine a part of your old way of being in a partnership and you want to replace it with new. There's a sense of detachment from existing world. And you realize that something has got to change. Your emotional pattern have slowly chipped away and changed. And you get awakened to a little bit of dissatisfaction from superficial, from rote, from habitual, from survival instinct to wanting excitement in love, in money, in abundance, in your contracts, in the things that you thought you would want for long term. You want to shake things up. So this full moon that is happening on 12th of November in your opposite sign, which is very, very critical for you, although it is a very serene, very secure, very peaceful, very comfortable and sensual, fixed, relaxed full moon, as possibly if any of you are in married relationship, which is going smoothly for some time, you'll find your partner to be like that. So it enhances the ease that is there in the partnership, but at the same time, it reminds you that we have to change things, because I have realized there's something in our partnership, something in our contract that has chipped away, that has changed, that needs shift. And this is a very guided full moon. It's a very spiritually guiding full moon. It is happening at a degree which is divine degree. It's a degree which is defined as, in astrology, as a wasp of wing-like clouds that stream across the sky. There's a guidedness about this full moon. It guides you towards where you should go. There is signature of divinity. There's a signature of symbolism, a subtle hint about what direction you should go, where the wind is blowing. We find ourselves in the blessings of the supernatural, which guides us to some extent. There's enhanced spiritual insight. There's a psychic intuition, earthy, and earth is magnetized in healing ways on this full moon because of the degree at which it is happening. The soil, the earth, and the star that is involved here is so benefic, north scale at in Scorpio, on 19 degree of Scorpio. If any of you have 19 degree of Scorpio in your chart, dominant, either because your sun is at 19 degree of Scorpio, which is if you're born around 11th or 12th of November, or if you have your rising or moon at 19 degree of Scorpio, you're born with spiritual gifts. You're born with the ability to bring your sharp mind and perception of deep psyche to the world. So there's this embeddedness, even if it's not a contract that you're working on. Maybe it's sort of completion of some project which you are dedicated to fully. You will put so much spiritual energy into that right now because of this full moon, because it has that element of divinity in it. Similarly, if there is a marriage relationship or a contract or a financial contract that you're working on, completing on, which might have been in work for the last 6 months, it brings a huge amount of positive energy into it. Immortal fame, it's defined this degree. Immortal fame. So this is what is happening as a result of the full moon and the new moon this year, this month. The other thing that I wanted to talk, and I'm sorry about a little bit of slip of tongue. I think Mercury retrograde in my sign is acting up a little bit, or I can take that excuse. Saturn and Neptune. The second key thing I wanted to talk to you about is Saturn and Neptune are making a sextile with each other on 8th of November. And I want you to take best advantage of that because it's an excellent aspect with you. Neptune is in your house of passions, romance, creativity. That's the thing that I've been talking to you about since the start of this year, since actually last November and December, which is what makes this year a creative high for our sign, which makes this year the year when we want an outlet for our creativity, writing, fine arts, music. We want to express our true passions in physical form. And Saturn and Neptune together, they have given us the ability to have the best of both worlds. With Neptune, we have the high. We sort of have lived a dreamlike state, if I may say, at least for the part of this year, where our creative high reached its highest high with Neptune in Pisces in our fifth house. It's inspirational, it's passionate, it's imagination on fire, it's creative high. It's about over idealizing love, over idealizing some passion. But sometimes you have this, you need to rise above the clouds to write something out of this world. So the perception, the intuition, the music, the painting, the writing, the psychological insights, the God's gift from beyond that come when Neptune is in the fifth house, they are enormous. And they will continue for the next couple of years with Neptune here. But we have to be a little bit careful when it comes to material reality. Because Neptune in the fifth house makes us a gambler. We take risk without knowing. Because sometimes you have to walk on the cloud, not seeing what kind of risk you are taking to be able to take those risks, right? So we don't realize how much risk we are taking to manifest our passions sometimes. We don't realize how much risk we are taking in falling in love with somebody. There is a blindedness to it. We don't realize sometimes we are over idealizing our children, falling in love with them without, which is good for them, but at the same time maybe the unconditional love is becoming used in some ways, where maybe your child or your loved ones, they need you more than normal. There's a lot of dependency on you. So the precautions of no gambling, love is a gamble as well, over idealizing, those come with Neptune here. And that's where Saturn plays a very good role, because Saturn grounds us. And Saturn is sitting in our house of mind. It is reframing, restructuring our thought process and our way of expressing ourselves. It is asking us to bring all this dreamy energy, this inspirational, romantic, idealistic energy, or a healing energy, because Neptune is a healer. Your need to heal others with your love, with your passion. Bring that to a written format, bring that to a concrete format, bring that to a book, bring that to a communication, bring that to something that people can feel it, hold it, and it's commercially viable. So Saturn and Neptune have been together for all of this year. They have met 3 times. All of these planets, they essentially make a contact at the start of the year. They made a contact at the start of the year when they seed an idea, they seed a new thought process, and then they essentially make another contact when they say, okay, let's bring it to the next level. And then they make a third contact when they give birth to something. When they say, okay, now is the time, let's see what we made out of it this year. So when Saturn and Neptune met each other for the first time on 31st of January with the eclipse, we seeded an idea. 18th of June, we grew that idea. Now on 8th of November is the time to give birth to this idea. And that will be done not just on that day, because it will impart its output to Sun, to Mercury, to Mars, to physically express itself. So we would have 8th of November, when in your ambition, when either in your physical position at job, your career, your physical body, or in a physical form, you will see an indication of this dream coming true. And this could be in form of, and you have to take an action for it, because this is a energy that we have been given the option to tap into. Sun and Neptune make a positive aspect with each other. We are highly inspired to do things. And over the course of last couple of months, when Neptune was retrograde, we might have seen the reality of our dreams or of our romances, that what we were not seeing clearly earlier, because Neptune went retrograde since June. So we might have sort of realized that what is practical, what is not. And now is, okay, I understand what is practical, what's not. Now I want to create something out of it. So when Sun meets Neptune and Sun meets Saturn, both of them in positive aspect on 8th of November, there is focus, there's stability, there's strategic planning, there is aspiration, there's imagination, and there is practical implementation of these aspirations. This is the time when we make something out of all that we dreamed of. When we sort of create an actual goal, an actual job, an actual position, give birth to something. And that is just the beginning. It might be just a beginning of an idea. It may not be the completion of it. Because Saturn and Neptune's job is to show us a dream. It's show us a dream which has a practical application. The job is not done over there. This is something for us to live with going forward. So 8th of November when Sun meets it, and then on 13th of November, Mercury meets it. Mercury meets Saturn and Neptune on 13th of November. That's when the expression comes out. That's when we express this dream. It could be that we write something, we speak about it, we hear a communication about it, we have a discussion about it, we get the support for it, we get some sort of discipline to create a written matter. There's a powerful influence on 13th of November from support from somebody who's powerful. Because Sun and Pluto are together as well. So you get some sort of support for it. And this is when the information is not fully available. You're still absorbing it. Because Mercury goes direct on 20th of November. And then around 28th or 30th of November is when details come through. When you fully know what it is, you sign something, you get into a contract of it, or you publish something, or you go ahead with something, or commercially. This is something which is commercial. Saturn is in third house. Your commercial abilities are what are going through an overhaul. Your written communication, your way to express to your the impact on people through your words, your talents, your skill set, practical talents which have commercial viability, they are going through change. So you see that, and then on 13th of December, Mars meets this combination as well. So you are actively working on it in December. Even though it's holiday period, it could be something that is creative for you, that is related to your children, related to romance, related to your passion, related to a business venture. But you sort of are, you show that the show is on the road with it. And this is very, very important, a big life change in my view, which is which you might have seen this in cycles come through, because Saturn and Neptune are in their end cycle right now. 2006 to 2007, Neptune and Saturn sign on. It went through an opposition. So look at your life. 2006, 2007, was there a life change? Then again on 2015, 2016, that life change that you did in 2006, 2007, that might have gone through another shift. And now we are in the last quarter of that life change, when you sort of are in a process of letting your old life go and a new life is coming to finality. And this is a very supportive and important aspect in that. There's a lot of support provided to you to make sure of what your dream is. Neptune will be in your creative house till 2025. This is the last phase in which you're getting ready. You sort of are delivering something which is showing you who you are becoming. So I think this is a very, very important aspect. The third thing and the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is what's happening with Venus and Jupiter meeting in your financial house on 24th of November. So this is a very, very positive aspect. It is happening at the galactic center. So it has beyond life kind of a reality. It's like very karmic in nature, something that you don't know why you got it. That kind of a thing, which you have been working on. And what have you working on? Jupiter is in Sagittarius, has been in Sagittarius throughout this year. Best sign for it to be in, one of the best signs for it to be in, because it rules Sagittarius. And this is the last month that Jupiter is in Sagittarius. And for you, Jupiter in Sagittarius has meant expansion of your value, expansion of your self-worth, and expansion of your talents that give you more net worth. So Jupiter has been reworking what is my source of money. And it's possible that you might have been working on multiple sources of money, because Jupiter expands without any discretion. It is not selective. So Jupiter has been telling you, okay, these are the 4-5 ways or 2 ways or 3 ways that you can have money, you can make more abundance. It's making you earn money through a higher purpose. It's sort of guiding you. So Jupiter has guided us throughout this year on what my next chapter of wealth will look like. What is my source of money? What are my talents? What kind of spiritual pursuits? Because Sagittarius is a higher sign. It is a higher purpose sign. So you're looking to make money through spiritual pursuits. You're looking to make money through publishing. You're looking to make money through international exposure, foreign sources of income, money from travel, publication, international affairs, religion, faith, teaching, big wallet money, investing and gaining from big sources, collecting foreign artifacts, meaningful things, traveling for money, those kind of things. So and it's not just money, it goes beyond money. It goes to value system. It has expanded the way you value you. It has expanded the way you value your talents. It has expanded and given you a new way of valuing life. So now with its last month, because Jupiter will in December move into your commercial house, into your communication house. So all that Saturn has been making you work hard on, that you're giving birth to, that is about to become big. Whether it is your written materials, it is your communication, it's your commercial talents. Jupiter going into Capricorn from December, that will expand a very different part of you. It will expand your influence on others. So, but before Jupiter moves there, it's giving you a gift before it leaves Sagittarius. On 24th of November, it gives a gift of what it has been trying to work through with you throughout this year. The knowledge about how to make money, the knowledge about your talents, it gives you some reward for that. Normally, yes, literally, it's sometimes financial reward with Venus and Jupiter together. It's financially very good. It's very good for investments. It's very good for purchases. It's very good for increases in salary, in consistent salary. It is very good from gaining money from spiritual pursuits. But more importantly, it is important to feel this new person within you, which has emerged during this year. You've changed as a person. You have become more in your confidence, in your ability to generate wealth, in your spiritual values, in your ability to have talents which have value for you for a longer period of time, which give you confidence, which are very moral in nature. So this is something that you'll experience. Apart from these things that I've just spoken about, we will have a new moon in your money house towards the end of the month, with after this aspect on 24th of November. Then around 27th of November, when 26th or 27th of November, we'll have a new moon in Sagittarius. which will happen in your financial house, and there will be more focus on your financial house from 22nd of November all the way till mid of December, when I think this new start in financial wealth that Jupiter is gifting you, that will come into action. And you'll see more of that in the coming month. Hope you have a great month ahead, and this is fabulous energies to make use of to sort of reach the other side. Happy birthday to Scorpio Sun again, and to all of you, hope you enjoy your season. And as I mentioned, the things that we plant this month, they are what we will reap over the course of next 1 year. So good luck for that and have fun with this month. Thank you.